Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Peter and myself, a huge welcome to our new home here in Ljubljana. And on behalf of all of the staff at the British Embassy, a very big welcome to the Queen's birthday party for 2015. It's a huge pleasure to see so many of you here today. I'm hoping that you all have a great British experience today. And just to get you warmed up, I hope you noticed we did some special arrangements and brought you some very British weather earlier today, just to get you in the mood. You're welcome, Alice. We also wanted to bring us some of London to Ljubljana, so I hope you'll appreciate this fine gentleman here next to me. Today we're celebrating the birthday of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And this is a particularly special year because this year the Queen will surpass our longest reigning monarch, who until now was the great Queen Victoria, and she will become our longest serving monarch. But today is also very much about celebrating the strong and special partnership that we have between the UK and Slovenia. And I'm not sure how many of you know this, but this is actually a really historic week for our partnership. Firstly, I'm sure you do know that the England football team were playing for the very first time on Slovene soil on Sunday. Now, with so many wonderful Slovene friends here tonight, it would be extremely risky of me to say too much about the final scoreline. But what I will say is that there were 5 fantastic goals, and we also had 2 great matches between Slovene and British fans. Ooh, this looks exciting. Thank you. Wow, look at that. I'm just going to ask for a round of applause, please, for this wonderful, wonderful cake. Now, I was telling you about the football and trying not to get myself in trouble and just saying that we should celebrate those goals. I hope the flower's going to be okay. What's that like? But this week is also a historic week for our partnership for another reason. And that is that this week we will see the first ever visit by a British Prime Minister to independent Slovenia. And I'm really looking forward to welcoming Prime Minister David Cameron to Slovenia later this week. He will be here for talks with President Pahor and also with Prime Minister Serra to talk about our cooperation and our ideas for the future of the European Union. So I'm looking forward very much to that later this week. So this seems to me a very good moment with all of you here who are involved in some way in our partnership to stop and celebrate the partnership between the UK and Slovenia. To help with that, we've got some delicious British food cooked by some fabulous Slovene chefs, some pims and some wonderful cocktails mixed by some Slovenian cocktail meisters. We've got some interesting UK-Slovenian musical cooperation coming up later, and a wonderful cake, as you can see to my right, that I look forward to cutting shortly. I wanted to tell you a little story about the start of our partnership, because this was something I discovered quite recently when Peter and I and our children, Tia and Ruben, went for a weekend to Bogensbeck Castle, which you probably know is not all that far from Ljubljana. And I actually spent most of the afternoon trying to convince Tia, my 3-year-old, who is somewhere, that the princess was probably just gone for lunch, or maybe she'd gone out to play football, because of course, as you know, every castle has a princess. And it was only later that I found out that Bogensbeck is actually the home, or was actually the home, to Janez Valvasor, the great Slovene historian and writer who compiled the first study of the Slovene culture and language, or Skaniola as it was at the time. And he was also the first Slovene to gain prominence in the UK and to be admitted to the Royal Society. So who knows, perhaps that's where the seeds of our partnership and cooperation come from. But in many ways, it's the future of our partnership that's the most important, and that's what I want to celebrate with everyone here today who's involved in building it. At a political level, I really hope that building on the talks this week and the first ever visit by a British Prime Minister, we can continue to explore the future of the European Union, and we can work together to complete the single market, which is so important for creating jobs in the UK and Slovenia, And of course we're NATO allies as well, so I hope that we can continue building our defence cooperation and the very close cooperation we have on all of the issues that affect regional security. But our partnership is not just about politics. Trade is also a really, really important part. And it's fantastic that over the last 10 years, and I won't gain any credit for this because it was nothing to do with me, but it's still fantastic that bilateral trade doubled between 2004 and 2014. So I say this particularly for friends and colleagues from the business community and the excellent British-Slovene Chamber of Commerce, who I saw on the way in, and I know they are somewhere. I think that the challenge for us now is to do that again, to double our trade, but in shorter order, in half the time. So I really look forward to working with you on that over the next few years. And of course, any relationship is also very much about the people. And it's been a great pleasure for me to meet many British people who've made Slovenia their home. And to be honest, having been here 3 months in your beautiful country, I can completely understand why. And also to get to know members of the Slovene community in the UK. And today, I want to say a huge thank you to our sponsors. I think that the phrase in Slovene is something like "ni mači kašu." Organizirati tako zabavo. In brez vaše pomoči ni bi uspelo. Kot vidite, učim se slovensko. Je lep jezik, malo težek za tujce. Obljubim, da prihodnje leto bom govorila več slovensko. I hope I haven't slaughtered things too much there. The other thing was I have a confession that I wanted to make before we do the toast. Sorry, I will be with you. And my confession is that since coming to Slovenia, not always to Peter's approval, I've become an avid Twitter addict. So for anyone who's not already following me on Twitter, or for any other Twitter addict out there, please follow me and help me enjoy the highs and lows of this fantastic diplomatic tool. I look forward to seeing you there. And for fellow Twitter addicts, we have brought from London to Ljubljana some special British-themed images for your selfies. So please feel free to take some selfies. Our handle and tweet. Our handle is Queen's Birthday Party. Very novel for you. And I look forward to that. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask you to raise your glasses. We're going to have 2 toasts. I'd like to ask you, first of all, better take my glass, thank you, to raise your glasses and to drink to the Queen and the President of the Republic of Slovenia. Queen and the President. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask you to drink to partnership. Partnership. Thank you very much. I think we're now going to cut the cake. And then in a minute, I'm going to hand over to the band for some special British-Slovenian musical cooperation. I'd like to ask you to enjoy the rest of your evening, eat, drink, tweet, dance, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.